You come up to these types of waters and, you know, there's so many fish, it's so plentiful that you catch a fish on a wide variety of different techniques. It's a great way to hone your skills.
Pretty fish.
Caught some fish on bottom bouncers. Thank you, sir. Some fish casting crankbaits. Ooh, we're sort of pushing the envelope on the net here. We caught fish trolling crankbaits. Now this is what Canadian fishing's all about.
Closed captioning is provided by Smooth Moves, adjustable boat seat suspensions for a smoother ride.
Boy, this is really a beautiful drive up here. We got a little bit of a different adventure for you today. We do not have a boat on the back of the vehicle, but we are going fishing. You know, when you think about Canadian fishing opportunities, there's really quite a few different types of fishing. You can go to really remote, like fly-in situations. You can go to drive-to destinations. And Nick and I have actually been to a lot of different drive-to destinations in Canada. Lake trout fishing in the winter, smallmouth bass, muskie fishing throughout the summer months.
This particular trip, we're going to Ghost River, which is actually a really, really good walleye fishery, and big pike as well.
As a matter of fact, we're about an hour out, and I think you got to give Daryl a ring, and he's supposed to rendezvous at the portage. They got some big giant John boats that they portage us in with.
The portage ride into Ghost River really brings back some fond memories. When I went to college, I actually guided throughout the summer months at a fly-in fishing camp just to the southeast of Ghost River Lodge. No question about it, this region of northwest Ontario has some of the finest freshwater fishing on the planet. Over the years, I've explored a lot in this region, fishing for bass, walleye, lake trout, big pike, giant muskies. Tomorrow morning, Ghost River Lodge owner Daryl Cartman and his daughter Chelsea are going to give Nick and I a little tour of the lake.
Well, we're a family business. My parents started in 1967, and Tina and I are now second generation. Our daughter is interested in going possibly into the third year generation. We'll see how that goes, but that's where we're standing right now. And my dad hit the lodge originally in '67 from his great aunt. So it's been in the family for quite some time. We are a pro-conservation operation. So what we do is we'll buy you the conservation license if you choose to go with that license. This entitles you to 2 walleye and 2 northern in possession. It gives you plenty to eat while you're here, and then all the big fish go back. It's a wonderful thing. What we do is we don't take any walleyes over 18 inches, and all northern pike over 27.5 inches are automatically released. So we don't have the harvest of the large spawn stock. We make sure that that breed stock stays in the lake to guarantee a quality fishery.
We offer 2 different plans here at Ghost River. We have our modified American plan, which we serve out of this dining room, and we have our housekeeping plan. So you can choose to do either of those plans. We have 2 beautiful outpost cabin locations. We have Fred's Outpost, which is in the bay of Ghost River, so just about a 5-minute walk from the main camp. And then we have Salen's Outpost Cabin. Salen's is a mile away from the main camp, and it's a 12-person cabin, so there's lots of room in there. Beautiful screen porch, sits on a rock point. It's a nice place if you want to be on your own and kind of have your own setting, your own cabin setting on a remote lake. You really get that feeling when you're over at Salen's.
Here at Ghost River Lodges, we offer access to 15 different bodies of water. They all are remote. There's no road access to any of them. They're all kind of unique from one to the other. Some lakes are great areas with a lot of moving water, current, deeper water. The next lake might have a shallower, a totally different topographic style of lake that will give you the opportunity of more of a numbers style of lake versus the larger fish. We have some lakes that you can access directly from the lodge, going up a 4-mile river run, which has a great opportunity of seeing lots of wildlife, everything from moose to otters and everything in between. So there's a nice diversity. That's what a lot of our guests like about our place, is the fact that we have all these different opportunities. So every day you can fish a different lake.
The nicest part of Ghost River, or probably one of the nicest things, is all the different waterfalls that we have in and around our area. If you want to come and enjoy the outdoors and see nature and really get an ambiance, a feeling, you know, of being back in the woods. It's a wonderful experience to bring your family to get back to nature.
The rides up and down the rivers from lake to lake are just phenomenal too. You feel like you're in the Everglades, you know, around the corners. You never know, next corner, that's where a big moose will be standing there waiting for you. So keep your eye out.
For years, they've quietly taken you where the fish are. But now the silence is about to break. With the incredible new iPilot Link, your Minn Kota and Humminbird can communicate with each other. So you can hold on a spot like an electronic anchor. Record and return to waypoints and paths. Follow any Lake Master depth contour and more. All automatically and all from your Humminbird or the Link remote. They talk and you'll be speechless.
Hey, you remember when we were hanging out last night? You know, me, you, Gail.
That's my girl.
You guys are awesome. And then you went to bed.
I was tired.
You were super tired. And then it was just me and Gail.
Mm-hmm.
Alone.
What?
Oh, yeah!
It's all in the paws. New Shadow Wrap from Rapala.
They say that if you turn your passion into your career, you'll never work another day in your life. At Lund, we've turned that passion into building boats for anglers who demand superior fishability, performance, and industry-leading innovation. From our dealers, to our veteran pro staff, to our employees, the Lund family puts their hearts and souls into delivering the ultimate fishing boat that we ourselves are proud to own. That's not a job, that's a lifestyle.
Uncompromising. Like the fishermen who swear by it.
This segment is brought to you by Big Bite Baits, designed to bring the big bite to your line.
Okay, we got our minnows, we got our shore lunch kits and the other bowl, play knife, specs.
What, down deep, like a walleye?
Not a bad one. It's about time. Our opposing boat here has been catching a lot more of them than we have, but we will catch up. It's only a matter of time.
Want to keep them flush?
Yeah, we'll keep them for shore lunch.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He's about the right size for shore lunch here. There you go.
He'll be a tasty morsel around noon today.
Yeah. Daryl, seasonally, how long are you open throughout the course of the year?
We open on the long weekend in May, which is the third Saturday of May, and we're open as far as fishing goes till about mid to third week of September.
You got a lot of river systems coming in, so early season you're concentrated around where these main river systems, and then as the season progresses, you got the fish draining out into the big more main lake basins and the main sunken islands.
Yeah, we'll start off in the river mouths and sometimes right in the rivers themselves, depending on what the temperature of the water is and stuff in the spring when we first open. And then as the season goes on, the fish will start moving out into the shallow bays, and then we'll move to the cabbage beds, and then from there onto the reefs and islands and points, and then sunken islands start becoming a key. Reefs, long extended points off islands, and then September we'll move into the current areas again.
The Ghost River system is actually relatively dark water. I mean, you have what's your visibility, 1.5 feet, 2 foot?
2 foot.
2 foot visibility. So throughout the course of the year, a lot of these walleyes are pretty shallow for the majority of the year. Or at least you can catch them, some fish shallow.
Yeah, we're not fishing real deep all summer long. I mean, the deepest would be like 23, 24. But you get some cloudy days with some rain mid-August, we'll be right back in 6, 7 feet, 8 feet of water again.
That wouldn't surprise me with this dark water like that. It's sort of nice that way. You can do a lot of jig fishing, shallow water jig fishing. Yeah.
It's always fun to fish in those current-based spots like the waterfalls and, you know, places like Burnt Narrows, for example, where you got a lot of structure. You can just kind of work your way around each stone and each elevation change. It makes it interesting that way. Ooh.
Better one?
Yeah. This one got a little more weight to it.
A nettable model? Right on the
Oh, it's just a nice pretty fish.
Yeah.
Nice healthy 16, 17-year-old. Look nice and gold. That one is. Looks like my dinner.
A shore lunch is a mandatory part of any Canadian fishing trip. Here's a few great shore lunch tips from Daryl. Number 1, obviously you need fish. A sharp rapple of fillet knife, and it sure doesn't hurt to have a knowledgeable fillet man. Bones in your fillets is not an option for shore lunch. As you can see, this guy has filleted a few fish in his day, and he estimates that you can fillet about 500 fish per rapple of fillet knife. Number 2, a level frying pan is key for frying fish evenly. Daryl's trick is to use a stick to level out your pan, and when the stick burns off, you just add another one. Number 3, always place the breaded fillet skin side down first. This will prevent them from curling up and cooking unevenly. Number 4, pre-boiled potatoes or canned potatoes will speed the cooking process. Number 5, beans should be simply heated, not boiled. Boiled beans turn to mush. This is the first shore lunch Nick and I have experienced in quite some time, and I'm sorry to say I can't share the smell or the taste of this meal with you.
You know, you come to Canada like where we're at here, and the jigs are a really key part of the walleye fishing. We have a couple of different jig designs. We have a moon eye jig that's really good. It's a little bit longer shanks that we use it for soft plastics. And then these hammerheads, which is a better live bait jig. It's got that really short shank. You can see it's sort of threaded up pretty tight up onto the collar of the jig. And we got a little pack of Waldos in here, and Daryl seems like he thinks he's got them wired here.
The walleye.
Better one there. Black water.
Black, eh?
A little bit better one now. There you go.
Pretty fish.
There's a good one.
Best one of the day?
The best one for me.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. There we go. Come here, beautiful. Oh, the thing is, see, actually, it's sort of interesting. We've been catching all different sizes of fish. Look at that gorgeous fish. But we've been catching a lot of small ones. We caught a number of 22 to 23s. Saw a number of 25-inch caught. They weren't in our boat, which is sort of an aggravation, but you never know by the end of the day. We should bag some of those little rascals. These beautiful fish, though. Get her back in the water.
No, well, we were just commenting earlier about the fact that you want to have all generations of fish. I mean, you don't want to just all be, I mean, obviously you want to catch big fish all day, but for the fishery standpoint, you need to catch all generations. So there's nothing wrong with those 7-inch right up to the 14-inch. I mean, obviously those ones are going back. And then, of course, just like we had for lunch today, you want those 15 to 16 inchers. Those are ideal eaters and make a tasty fish fry.
He's fished here for decades. He knows every hump, every drop-off, every contour. He's dedicated his entire life to understanding this single body of water, and he didn't know squat about it until 2 hours ago. AutoChart Live lets you build your own high-definition maps anywhere in the world in real time. Only with Onyx. Only from Humminbird.
there's no place like this.
Catch more and bigger fish with Lindner's Angling Edge. AnglingEdge.com has the tools for success, tackle and equipment, adventure destinations, clothing, inspiration, instructional DVDs, and more. Miss an episode? Watch it on YouTube along with cutting-edge tips, techniques, and trends. Check out our tactical wear clothing line. Hoodies, buffs, long and short sleeve t-shirts, sunglasses, and a whole lot more. This is your one-stop shop for everything angling. Lindner's Angling Edge, online, anytime.
We're always looking for a secret to success, like lures, legs, spots. Here's one mechanics have been using for decades to solve fuel system problems. It's Seafoam motor treatment. Seafoam helps do the few important things exceptionally well. Removes harmful engine deposits, controls moisture, stabilizes fuel for up to 2 years, and adds lubrication to fuel, so engines run cooler and last longer. To me, this stuff is like a miracle in a can.
The Edge is presented by these and other fine sponsors.
You know, as far as rods go, I brought a whole selection of different rods here. We fish with St. Croix rods, and there's a wide variety of different rods. This is a Icon. And this is a slip and rig rod. When you look at the, this rod here, you know, and most of them, they actually have that really identifies really the key presentation that it works for, whether it be for crankbait fishing, soft plastics, snap jigging. They got a whole variety of really beautiful rods. I'm not kidding you, really tremendous actions. They really got a really nice load up on it. It's a real nice sensitive tip. But the thing is when there's a real fine point in the rod when it locks up, and that's where it really sets the hook into the fish really pretty distinctly. You know, when people come up on trips like this, up to like Ghost River and any of these like remote fishing situations, you want to bring a depth finder. Obviously for walleye fishing, it's a really critical depth, you know, once you isolate a specific depth where the fish are at. We've been catching the fish, what, Daryl, in between, anywhere between what, 7 and about 15, 18 foot of water. And each spot is different where the fish are, dependent on the wind, you know, the current situation. Some of the fish we've been catching shallow up on the reef systems, and some of them we've been catching deeper. But the thing is, these portable units like this Humminbird Helix here has not only a depth finder, but some of the biggest things, it's got down imaging, side imaging, as well as one of the biggest things that I like for a water that I've never been to. I've never been to Ghost River before, but is a base map, so I can see the islands, I can see the shape of the lake. And it's really sort of nice about that, even though it does not have a really accurate depth map for this region. A lot of these more remote areas, you do have depth contour maps, but they're not really super accurate. Ooh, boy, we might have a real one on here.
Can we get the net ready?
Yeah, Mr. K, we got a big boy here, I think.
All right. You
know, we've been catching fish on quite a few different techniques. We've been catching some fish jigging, we've been catching some fish trolling. Now this is our bottom bouncing. We'll see what this guy's about here. Let's see. Ooh, there you go. That's a good one there. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. Oh, there you go. Thank you, sir. That's a good one there. Look at that. Look at that. Great big minnow. He got the attention of this big boy. He ate it too. Look at that. Whoa. There we go. There we go. Beautiful fish. You know, as I was saying, we've been catching fish on a lot of different techniques. You know, that's something that's cool. You come up to these types of waters and, you know, there's so many fish. It's so plentiful that you catch a fish on a wide variety of different techniques. It's a great way to hone your skills. We've caught some fish on bottom bouncers, some fish casting crankbaits. We've caught fish trolling crankbaits. He's ready for another one. Let's get another one. You know, one of the biggest things that you come on a Canadian trip like this is preparation and tackle. Obviously, you can't bring everything. You've got to bring a selected amount of gear. For walleyes, Nick and I came up here to really targeting walleyes, doing some northern pike, but when it comes to walleye, one of the biggest things is jigs. I've got a wide selection of different jigs from 1/8 to half ounce, moon eyes, hot skirts, a lot of different big bite soft plastics, boot tails, straight tailed baits like this are really critical for casting, and as well as deeper and shallower jigging presentations. We've been catching quite a few walleyes casting with a boot tail like this here, slow reeling it. A really good profile bait, bright colored baits. The second part of the equation for walleyes up here is crankbaits, and I bring a wide variety of different crankbaits. This is a scatter wrap shad. One thing that you want to bring is a wide variety of different shad wraps, and you can see I got a pretty nice selection of them for both trolling and casting presentations. You've probably seen that commercial, the Rapala commercial, where they threw the guy out of the airplane. This is the reason why they didn't bring their shad wraps along, because they really just produce a wide variety of not only walleyes but northern pike, even shallow water lake trout at the right time of the year. Last but not least is some type of live bait rigs, and probably one of my absolute favorites is a bottom bouncer system like this here. This is a VMC bottom bouncer. We have switch it rigs. I have this on a spin drift hook system. These are really great for different types of live bait. You can put a minnow on here. You can put night crawlers as well as leeches. This spin drift, when you put it on there, what it does, it makes the bait rotate when you pull it in the water, and it's a really highly effective bait presentation.
Mercury engine test.
Smooth, quiet power you can rely on. It's good to have Mercury behind you.
Uncompromising, like the fishermen who swear by it.
Mercury engine test.
Easy to maintain performance you can rely on. It's good to have Mercury behind you.
The Edge is presented by these and other fine sponsors.
Ooh, uh-oh, whoa. Now you're talking.
All right, does that mean I gotta pull my line out of the water again?
Ooh, whoa. I think you're gonna need the net on this little rascal.
Okay, I'm coming.
Oh, yeah, he's going around the other way here. There we go. Ooh, wow.
See some smoke? Was there some smoke on that reel? Or what?
Yeah, that was I don't know. Maybe there's a big pike.
Oh.
Yeah, this has got to be a bigger pike, is what this guy is.
Randy.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah, if this is a walleye, we got one of your famed Marchington 32-inchers. Now this is what Canadian fishing's all about, you know. When you get out at bites like this and you catch so many fish, you know, deep, shallow, you can experiment. That's what I was talking about earlier. Coming up here, it's just such a great way to learn because you can catch fish on so many different various techniques, and, you know, trolling, casting, soft plastics, live bait. Yep, there he is. Yep, nice pike. There you go. There you go. There you go. Ooh, we're sort of pushing the envelope on the net here. Okay, Nick, what do you think about the Ghost River run, or what was the coolest thing you thought about this whole trip?
You know, I don't know. It was, we caught a lot of fish. We had an excellent shore lunch, which was really cool. I really actually enjoyed the shore lunch a lot.
I like that big pike coming up and smoking your walleye, like about
that
a
was
3
actually
pound.
pretty cool, yeah.
Cool, yeah. And Chelsea, how about Chelsea?
Kicking my butt, yeah.
Chelsea was, she's a really good fisherwoman. She really catches fish. I mean, she's got the jig presentation down. Yeah, but it was sort of an interesting trip, a real big river shed through there. Every different location you go to, when you're fishing, you're always learning something, and I did definitely learn something from this trip.
You know, most successful businesses that I know have a mission statement, and many of them are based around biblical core values. That's how they manage their businesses. Recently, I had a knee issue and I had to go in for some physical therapy. And as soon as I walked in the door, they had their mission statement boldly sitting out there, and it really caught my attention. The last sentence said, "We have based our business on 4 core values. We call them the 4 F's: faith, family, fairness, and fun." The word faith leading off the first part of their mission statement really got my attention. I'm going to take a minute and read you LMP Lindner Media Productions, who produces the show that you're watching right now, our mission statement. Number 1, to provide our expertise in the industries we choose to serve with electronic images that primarily focus on angling, boating, and outdoor subject matter, utilizing the highest level of workmanship and creative energy and integrity. To maintain maximum financial stability while providing investment value consistent with our clients, at the same time developing profitable growth. To provide a work environment that is exciting and challenging while providing an equitable compensation that encourages teamwork, individual growth, job satisfaction, and creative ideas. Last but not least, to be ever vigilant in our actions so that we do not in any way compromise our integrity or reflect negatively on the Christian gospel messages to which we aspire. You know, I know a lot of businesses, like I said earlier, that build their business around Bible truth as far as management goes, and for wisdom in everyday decision making. Hey, I just wanted to share that with you. I thought many of you would enjoy that. Hey, from all of us here at The Edge, you have a good, safe fishing season. We'll see you on the water.